Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's the Scottish Sim guy here, and I've done another little build on Kinlaig. Something a bit different, a little bit more complex in the build compared to other builds, as you'll get to see. But I'm just now going to go and take you up to where I actually did the build, show you what it looks like beforehand as I usually do now. And then we'll jump in and we'll show you the build. So not too far away from where we are now here at the shop. It's just basically this field in front of you. What I wanted to do, and I've been wanting to do a build like this for a while, where lots of kind of areas where you can build in behind houses, but it just didn't suit, and I'd love to come through between the houses, but the curbs didn't allow that, etc, etc. So what I thought I would do is build one just as you go into Kinlaig. On this side there's kind of two entrances into Kinlaig, one off of this road and one off of the road just above us. If you are a member of the Facebook group that I'm a member of, you'll have seen Alan Taylor done a build just outside Kinlaig up on that road on the top side up there. So I've chosen to do one down here on this field in here, so just basically starting right from here. So just as you come into the village of Kinlaig, we're going to build it right in here. So it's actually pretty good that there's no crop on it, and it's shown you. So basically you'll see how the field rolls. There's not a level bit on the field at all. It's all downhill, and it's quite a big field. So you'll see what I've done with it. Basically, once we jump in, to give you a little tour. Kept it small equipment. Very, very tight farm, which means if the farm does get bigger, it's limited to the size of equipment and tractors it could use, because it is very, very tight getting in and around the yard, as you'll get to see. But it's been a really, really good build, I must admit. I did really, really enjoy it. So yeah, basically we'll disappear, we'll come back, and we'll show you the build. Right everyone, we'll just head up to the farm from the bottom where the shop was, again just to kind of give you a view. So the kind of fields do stretch over both sides of the road as you're coming up here. So you'll see the kind of farm there from the bottom side, what I've built. So we'll go up and get into the farm and show you. So we've got some crops and that there on the left hand side, some Highlanders up there as well, and then in these fields here we've got sheep and then basically all Highland cows. So that's basically what this farm's running, is sheep and Highland cattle. So in here to Kinlaig, head in towards Kinlaig, and you'll see the farm is right nestled in at the side of the road, and it kind of ties in really, really well. It's coming into the village, and we've got the entrance down in here. So this is the start of it here. So we've done a lot to it. So these are the original gates that were on the field. So what we'll do is jump out, and we'll jump in and go for a little tour round about the farm. So down in here we've just got an area where we can tip some stuff. So I've got a trailer and a cultivator there. So the kind of first thing I did was, in building it, was get the dikes out here at the start. Got that all done up to the gate, and then what I've done is I placed the house. So I'm going to jump up here a bit. So placed the house, and then kind of built the walls round about the house, and kind of then built off of that. So that white shed there went in. And then I got this little bit with the greenhouses done, and then off of that put that shed right in front of us, and then we put the sheep shed down after that, and I just wanted to make this really tight, small. Took my time as we went, just because obviously it's on a slope, so everything's sloping away from the top, so it was don't want to say complicated, but a lot more complicated than what my builds usually are, just to get it all flowing and seem natural. So round the back of the sheep shed here we have the silage pit that has bales in it, and then a feed bin there, and then down into one of the cattle sheds. So this is the only way in and out for this cattle shed. And then we've got an old slurry power along there with slurry in it, and then we've got the other cattle shed there. Now going that way is the only way to get down the back of those sheds and get into that slurry tank. And then what I've done is I placed some animal mud down in here, so when you go through it, it kind of makes it rough and doesn't make it, so that's why it's all falling away and shaped like that, because I've put animal mud in it and been going through it with a tractor. Just make it a bit more kind of genuine. It's a kind of area there where you would get muck in it and a puddle would form there in real life, so that's the way I've done it. So then what I wanted to do is have a kind of two-leveled area here. So I had that shed placed, and then I had this bit here, so what I did was I used the sloping tool and I sloped it from one point to another and just got that through, and then that gave me the two levels there, because you'll see it's on a slope because the way the gate goes, obviously it gates into the dike there, but you'll see that it's not level. So with that sloping tool I smoothed off the edge, not too much though, because then it takes away the actual edge there. So that's given me the two levels there, and then through here I levelled off this area just to put two sheds. I didn't want to put like a small farm, didn't want to put a big grain shed or that down, so I just thought I'd use this silo and dryer decoration that we get with the Highlands DLC. So I'm going to stick that in there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick that I did use that in my last build on Kinlaig, so it's an addable trigger, it's a grain trigger, so it comes with a kind of blower there and a dump area, so I've just kind of got that sitting right on the silo, so that I've done that, so that's the only bit to tip. It's not in a shed or at the side of a shed, it's just a little bit different. And then this gave me then an area to stack bales in here, an area for seed and fertiliser, and to get the majority of the equipment that you would find being kept in a shed rather than outside, and then any equipment that can be stored outside is being stored outside, because this is literally the only two areas where we've got to actually store any equipment. There's a lot of farms you go to and there's not a lot of storage space, especially on small farms, to be able to get any equipment in. I know some of the farms I worked on, you know, it was, you got the baler and the mower inside, and that was about it. Everything else was outside. So we'll go down here and round the back of this shed. So I've not put any cattle or that in the sheds, I just kept everything outside. And then round here, couple of decorations, and then I had this area at the back again here. So what I did is I used the sloping tool again to make that road down, and then levelled off this little area just right behind the shed, and I'm going to put the cattle crush in there and make that an area to sort out cattle, so gate at the front to be able to then load them up, separating areas, and then what they do is they come in from down the back here. So what you would do is run the cattle down and into here, and then through that gate and up and in through the race. So yeah, and there's a gate there, so I've put the cattle in the shed just in front of me. So if I jump out here, if you were shifting them in, you'd open up that gate and just run them out of that gate there, in through here, and then up and in through, and then start working with them there, and just try to make things, a little bit more realistic. Try to, think, well, if I've got cattle in that shed and where am I going to handle them, where am I going to do things, and setting it up so as an area where it's all gated and fenced off so they're not going to go anywhere. I mean, obviously, a cow's going to jump at dike, but the aesthetics of it all, this is, how it would be. You'd probably have a fence round about that, right enough, for a higher wall, but yeah, so then jump back in this, and then I'm like, well, I need to put a dung midden in, so decided we'll stick it here, make it nice and tight, coming down here a dung spreader, tight to load as well, coming down, especially down through here and getting round the corner and come down here with a dung spreader, slurry tanker with a trailer, it is tight, and then down here and round this area here, this is where we've got a good bit of our equipment sitting outside. We've got a lot of decorations, just things being dumped, but we've got our Cambridge rollers, we've got a dung spreader, we've got a slurry tanker. Dung spreader went for that one because it goes for the horsepower. The highest horsepower tractor we have is 100 horsepower, so everything had to tie in with that. That plough is 105 horsepower needed, so I just decided to go with it. And then I wanted to put the cattle outside into pastures, so I done this sheep one out here, and then I split the whole rest of the field up. So we've got a grass field here on the left, and then we've got 2 pastures down here. So let's get Highlanders in it. That one there. Put a little bathtub in there, because you see that a lot in farms. That's more or less a water trough. So Highlanders in there, and then Highlanders and calves in here, and the same, we've got a bathtub there as well. So that is out there. Turning about. And the reason I've not got a gate in there, I forgot to put a little bit of hedge in there, is just because the fence, it won't tie in with the corner at the bathtub. It wants to tie in somewhere else, and because I've got the dike there, it won't allow me to do it. So I was meant to piece in a little bit of hedge as well. I put the trees down as decorations and I was going to put a hedge in front of it, but I forgot to do that little bit. But yeah, do like these dry stone dikes with the bits missing. Makes it look, not all. Very seldom do you go to a farm and all the stone dikes are all whole. There's bits missing out of them and stuff. So do like that it's got segments for that, to just change through the segments and do that from a whole dry stone dike to a bit that's going to go out and be missing bits. So basically, more or less, all the sheds, apart from the livestock ones, again, are from the Highlands Fishing DLC, or apart from that white one up there. So these 2 sheds there are from the Highlands DLC. The one up with the combine in it's from the Highlands DLC. These are from a pack, I can't remember what it's called, but it will be in the description. Obviously that is the sheep barn from MS Modding, and then we've got this shed here. But apart from that, majority of stuff shed wise is from the Highlands DLC, but all the mods used will be in the description of the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to park this up here out the way. I'm going to jump out and just give you a little closer walk round about to just show you the detail, what I've done to put into it to get it to look how it is. I was going to put a little gate here off the main road, but I thought, well, the only person that's going to use that gate would be the postie, and the postie ain't stopping on the main road, so the postie's going to come down round in here into the farm, and he's going to use the gate at the back door there, so that's why I didn't. So yeah, just decorations again, plenty of detail. Smaller tractors I said I went for, so we've got a 397, which is 100 horsepower, and we've got the 690 here with a loader on it. Never driven a 397, drove a 398, which was one of my main tractors at a farm I worked on a very, very, very long time ago. That was the tractor I'd done all my slurry spreading and that with. So it was a decent enough tractor. And we had, I think, what do we have? 3080 and a 3085. So the 3080 was a feeding wagon tractor, and the 398 was the main workhorse, and the 3085 was just a tractor that just done a little bit here and there. It was kept at another farm. So yeah, got the workshop put in there. I didn't know what to do with this shed. I was like, the combine will go in there anyway, so I was like, well, I'll stick a kind of workshop area in there, and that'll be that. And then yeah, just when I got the sheds down, it was just all about putting decorations down, give it that little feel. Not went too overboard with the decorations. And then this area is a pressure washer, with your water tank and chemical barrels, fuel tank there, and then I mean, you could put a gate across there as well, just where I've walked down there, or you could put a gate here, but I've just left it open. Probably would have put a gate across there, especially with cattle, if you were shifting them through to the crush, just in case they ran out this way. And then I didn't want to put an area to stack bales, but I wanted to put a silage pit down as well, in case, you know, if this was ever to be played in the future, you can progress from having bales to actually putting silage in a silage pit. So that's what I decided to do. Had this little area at the side, didn't know what to put in it, so I know I wanted to put a feed silo in, and it just didn't fit in anywhere else on the farm, so I decided I'll stick that there, and it gives it somewhere to go. We'll run along here. So I just diked it all the way, and this is very tight coming along here as well. So basically the majority of this stuff was reversed from the start there and in, and the same with these bales. To get those bales in there, I had to go up the side of the sheep shed, reverse right along here, and get myself really, really, really close to this dike, and then got them unloaded and in and stacked in there. So yeah, a nice little tight area that when you come into the farm, it's not just a case of you drive in and you know you'll get burrowed round about. You've got to think about it, so you go, well, I'm not going to get turned round about there, so reverse along. Little LPG tank there for the dryer, and yeah, little 3 metre seeder, little Vicon fertiliser spreader, and we've got class rake, class tedder, class baler, went for the Pottinger mower, and then we've got the Scorpio wrapper there. And that's basically it, the little Bailey trailer. We've got the straw blower there, we've got a cultivator there. We had to go all through Mod Hub and find some things that were more suitable for 100 horsepower and about 3 metres wide. I don't usually do as small as a tractor and equipment as this build. And yeah, we'll just go down here, and it's the crush area here. Cattle muck on the bottom, just to give it a bit more authentic look, and out, and it's there, and yeah, I just thought I didn't know where to place that, and I just thought that area in there is ideal, and we'll just have this as a little area just to come in and out. The only time you're going to come in here is with a tanker just to get some slurry out, and then, so yeah, and that makes it, so you're basically, if you're taking slurry out, depending where you're going with it, if you're going back out the farm, you'd be coming down here, reversing in there, getting a load of slurry. I don't think you'd get out and turn round there, so you're going to have to go down here, turn round about here, to then go back out and up, so it just, you know, makes it awkward. Things like that don't get thought about. The thing gets built first, and then you go, right, how are we getting this stuff out? So yeah, many a farm I've went to where, yeah, even mucking out sheds, you've got to park a trailer somewhere because you can't get it turned, and you've got to then move it backwards and forwards and through narrow bits, and yeah, so yeah, brilliant little builds. Really did enjoy it. And then splitting up these fields here. So I'll jump up into construction and show you from above what it actually looks like from higher up. And I will put on my Discord, I'll put the pictures up of it and from above as well. So if anybody's want to try and replicate it, then they can. As again, I'll say, all mods used, the building wise, will be in the description. So that is basically it from above. And I'll go around here. So right in at the back of the houses. You know, it'd been ideally if you could get this bit of land here, and you could have came up through here and into your entrance into your farm, but I don't think the curb allows that. It's a high curb. Just, you know, realism for myself. So yeah, and that's it. So 2 cattle sheds laid there, sheep shed there. So there basically only is, you know, they take up the majority of the farm, the 2 cattle sheds and the sheep shed. Apart from that, you've got 2 wee sheds here for implements, a shed there for implements, this with the tractors in it. There's not much to it at all. And then your dung midden and your silage clamp. So yeah, and then down, and then just split. I just split this whole field up into 4, made them smaller fields, and then the same across the road. So across the road, this whole field split into 4, kept 3 with crop in it, and then made this top bit here. Put the gate there. The entrance to this field is away down the bottom here at that shed down there. So put that as the entrance, and diked it all off, put fences in, and then just made it 3 fields rather than one big one there, because I knew I was going to put some more cattle in that little corner triangle here. So yep, and then entrance into that field is there, and then the entrance into that field here is right there, and there's a dirt road all the way around it. So that's all. So you kind of it starts off with 3 crop fields, and 1 grass field, and the rest are all paddocks. So yeah, it's a decent little build. So I'll just head up back to the farmhouse, but hope you have all enjoyed this, guys. You do like the build, you have or will take inspiration from it. If you are building your own farms, show me them. Jump on my Discord, there is an area in there for farm builds for anybody to display their farm builds, show me their farm builds. So that's what to do. Jump on there, put your builds up, even if they're not inspired by me or a replication of what I've built. I just like seeing other people's farm builds, because I do take a little bit of inspiration from them and go, oh, that's a good idea, I'm going to try that. So it's all just kind of helping each other out and seeing what each person can do and helping each other improve and get better. So if you do have any pictures you'd like to share of your farm builds, then jump onto my Discord and share them with us. But apart from that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Do hope you have enjoyed the video. Again, if you have liked it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you can. It does help us in every single way, but do really appreciate everybody that has done it. And again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.